जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन जमुनातीरावनचारि जमुनातीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव जय कुञ्ज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल बैक टू प्रभु हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. We'll start. Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. So I'll say 3 times Hari Bol to Prabhuji. Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
हरि बोल
Thank
हरि
you,
बोल
Prabhuji.
Haribo.
Haribol, Haribol.
My humble obeisance to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. I prostrate myself at the lotus feet of all the assembled devotees. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. We will begin today the study of chapter 14 of Bhagavad Gita. I have a bad throat, so please excuse me for my hoarse language or words, but you're all Sargrahi, so you'll take the essence. I want to begin by sharing the news of the physical departure of His Holiness Badrinarayan Swami Maharaj today in Vrindavan Dham, somewhere around 10 a.m. Eastern, which is about 10 hours back. He wrapped up, he left his body. And also yesterday in Alachua, another senior disciple of Prabhupada, His Grace Ranjit Prabhu, also a great stalwart in Prabhupada's army, he also wrapped up and left his body. So we'll pray for them and learn from what can we pray for such exalted devotees, but still we can pray to Krishna to always keep them at his lotus feet and pray to them so we can follow the footsteps of such great souls. So we can chant one Hare Krishna Mahamantra in their remembrance and prayers. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
And we'll dedicate today's class to in both of their remembrances, Holiness Badrinaran Swami Maharaj and His Grace Ranjit Prabhu. So you all have already studied chapter 14 of Bhagavad Gita. So today is the summary day in my understanding. We'll chant some prayers and then begin. We won't cover every verse, but we'll try to cover some of the essential verses and try to get a bird's eye view of what is chapter 14 trying to teach us and what lessons can we draw from this chapter. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यैश्वरम् गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे भगवद्गीता किंचिदधीता गंगा जललव कणिका पीता सकृदेव मुरारी समर्चा न क्रियेत यमेन चर्चा. It is said that anyone who drinks little water of the Ganga and even discusses Bhagavad Gita, Kinchitadita, even little bit, one word of Bhagavad Gita, that person will not have to converse with Yamena, Yamaraj. In short, those who read Bhagavad Gita, those who try to understand Bhagavad Gita, and those who try to live by Bhagavad Gita, they will not have to have a dialogue with Yamaraj. In short, they will go back home, back to Godhead. And chapter 14 is, and every chapter in Bhagavad Gita is teaching us that, but chapter 14 is especially talking about how we are trapped. Chapter 14 talks about the trap. So, what is this trap? The T stands for the three modes. T for TRAP, that's the acronym to remember chapter 14. The T stands for the three modes. Everyone knows the three modes: Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Then the R is a race. Everyone is competing against each other. Sometimes Rajas is prominent, sometimes Sattva is prominent. During the day also we see sometimes Tamagun is prominent. Have you ever wondered why don't people go to bars at like 7 a.m. in the morning? Why all these places like casinos, bars, discos are prominent in the night time? Because mode of ignorance and passion is prominent. Everyone in the morning is going to temple, some yoga, some nature walk, some beat, some exercise. Goodness is prominent. And then the day shifts, the peak, working, passion, and then ignorance. So every aspect of our life is divided into the modes. There's a race for prominence. The three modes, then the race for prominence. Then the next few verses talk about the different actions in the different modes. And finally, Lord Krishna teaches that how all of them are binding. All of them are a trap. I was hearing a class yesterday. Don't become a prisoner of your success. This one is Radhanath Swami Maharaj was giving the prisoner of success. Sometimes we can become a prisoner of goodness. And it's very hard for people to comprehend how can one become the prisoner of goodness. We'll take a story or two. So Krishna tells that all of them are binding, including goodness, and therefore gives us the P of pure life. The P of pure life. Pure life means Shuddha Sattva, to transcend. And Lord Krishna begins to talk about the three modes from the very beginning. From the very beginning of chapter 2, Krishna says, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Shema Atmavan. Anyone wants to read translation? It's on the screen.
I can read. Hare Krishna devotees and the Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Haribol. Thank you, Prabhu. So these modes are not just covered in chapter 14, but if we study chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 7, chapter 14, 17, 18, in so many ways Krishna is teaching us how the three modes are binding and how Krishna is above the three modes, but we are Anu Atma. Although we are pure eternal soul, but we are infinitesimal. And Krishna is infinite. So what happens? The infinitesimal gets covered by the three modes or trap, the acronym TRAP, trap. The three modes, race for prominence, actions in the three modes, and finally the P is for how to get out of that trap, which is pure bhakti. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyati. When the soul is bewildered, ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyati, although he is acting under the influence of three modes, but one thinks, no, I am the doer, I am the controller, I am the enjoyer. Kartaham iti manyati, because of false ego, because of ahankar. Gunai. What does the word guna mean? Anyone knows? What does guna mean?
Person.
Is it a character? Character, Prabhuji?
Character, okay. That's one meaning. Okay, what else? We say Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun, right? We say that, right?
Yeah, three modes. The mode of the nature of the person.
Nature, consciousness, qualities, character, okay, modes. Guna in Sanskrit also means ropes. So we see how these ropes bind us. The living entity is transcendental, but when it comes in contact with the material nature, it binds the eternal soul. And look at this picture, how one is trapped. Srila Prabhupada explains in different ways. Any reflections from this, just seeing this picture? What do you think? This person is free or bound?
Bound with different chains.
Is bound. Is bound with chains, okay. What else you see?
The
Golden chain.
color.
Golden chain, silver chain, iron chain, okay. Three different chains are there. What else?
But he still seems to be happy, but not actually.
Yes. he still seems to be happy. This is called Maya. We are in jail. We are also bound by these three modes. This is a famous picture: goodness, passion, red, yellow, blue. These are the, interestingly, if you see, these are the different modes. These are the three primary colors. And out of these, you can have 10 million colors by having different proportions of these colors. And everyone is acting under these modes. But these are like invisible threads. We feel we are the doer. We feel we are the only doer. Bhagavad Gita explains we are just bound. And we feel we are enjoyer. We are the doer, we are the controller, we are the enjoyer. But things don't happen as per our plan. And then we say, oh God, why good things happen to bad people, or why bad things happen to good people? Then we start to question. So Krishna is giving in the third section, which is what we are reading right now, the supplementary knowledge here in the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 14, which helps us to become a sincere devotee. What's happening? Okay, it's here on the other page. So did everyone get a high-level summary? The trap, T-R-A-P, the three modes, the race for prominence, the A is the different actions in the modes, and P is pure bhakti. So we'll go and cover some verses now. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Param Bhuya Pravakshyami Jnananam Jnanamuttamam Yagyatva Munaya Sarve Param Siddhim Ito Gataha. Yes, translation. Someone can read, please.
Yeah, I can read it. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again I shall declare to you the supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection.
Thank you so much. Uttamam. Uttamam means topmost. That's one meaning. Uttama shloka, the best of the verses, the best. Uttama. Krishna is going to give this knowledge which will destroy tama. Uttama. So this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, in short, destroys our andhakar. Tama. Tama also means ignorance, andhakar. Asatoma satgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. From tamas to tamasoma jyotirgamaya. From darkness to light. From asat to sat. We are caught up in this asat world. Bhagavad Gita teaches us what is our real home. Why we are stuck in this material world. It's a trap. But we feel, no, this is our real home. This is what we really want to enjoy. The soul is stuck in this body, moving on and on in different species, until we come to the point we realize that, oh, I am Krishna's part and parcel. I am caught up in these different modes. This is not my real position. I need to take shelter of Krishna and surrender unto him. Then only I will be able to get out of these modes. And Krishna further explains about the three modes. Becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. In short, eternal life. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of the birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the birth of all living beings. So Krishna is the source of everything. He's explaining, and everything comes because Aham Bija Pita, I am that seed-giving father. Then Krishna explains, Sattvam Rajastamas Iti Guna Prakriti Sambhava Nibdhanti mahabaho dehi dehi namavyayam. Anyone wants to read this translation?
Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes.
So beautiful. Important verse. So by nature we are eternal, pure, Satchidananda. But what happens when we come in this contact with this material world? We get a covering of these modes. So we become conditioned. We forget our true eternal spiritual consciousness. And then these modes start to bind us based on our consciousness, based on our upbringing, right? Based on our parenting, samskara, previous birth, desires, the kind of food we eat, the kind of friends we have, the kind of things we see, the kind of things we do, the time of the day, everything. All these impact our covering. But what is the goal of life? Cheto Darpana Marjanam. The goal of life is to clean that covering. And how is that possible? By the process of chanting of the holy names. Chaitanya Shashtakam, Chaitanya appearance is coming. He gave 8 verses. In the first verse is Chitudarpana Marjanam Bhav Maha Davagani Nirvapanam. So by the cleansing of the soul, or the cleansing of these covering, the cleansing of our consciousness happens through reading Bhagavad Gita, understanding. We feel we are now getting angry, right? If we get angry, it's the mode of ignorance and passion dominating at that time. We feel very joyful. Maybe the sattva is dominating. So if we consciously introspect, then we will be able to utilize those things. Like anger is a tool. But when one is overcome with passion and ignorance, then they are not able to understand and they get used by anger. Similarly, lust, which is again a product of mode of passion. Many people do so many wrong things and they are overcome by lust. Boy likes a girl, girl likes a boy, but somehow they don't. The boy says, "Oh, will you marry me?" The girl says no, and then the boy kills the girl, or vice versa. It happens. We hear this in the news. Why? These modes are so strongly, we're so strongly conditioned. Well, does that mean, can we say, "Oh, I'm not the doer, these modes are making me do it"? Well, I didn't say bad words to you. Oh, I was just overpowered by passion and ignorance, and this bad words came out of my mouth. That's not an excuse, because knowledge should give vidya dati vinayam. Knowledge should give a higher consciousness. And that's what we were going to see further in the following text. The mode of, okay. O sinless one, O Arjuna, the mode of passion, goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating. So goodness is illuminating. And it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. These are symptoms of goodness. But what about passion? It's born of unlimited desires and longings. I want this. I want that. Endless desires. They are hardworking because they have endless desires. Rat race never ends. O son of Kunti, because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions. So goodness leads to purity, illumination, knowledge, happiness, but passion leads to material endless rat race, endless desires. There's no end. And what about tamas? Born of ignorance, delusion. The results are madness, sleep, lazy, crazy, and all of them are binding, as we just saw that image where the person was bound. All of them are trapped. But interesting thing is, no one feels it. If you ask a person, lying in the gutter after drinking a bottle of alcohol, they'll say, "Oh, I'm in heaven," right? I am enjoying life. The pig might be eating, stool, but the pig will feel, "Oh, I'm in heaven. I'm in the cloud. I'm in the seventh star," or I'm in the. And similarly, a person having a multi-million-dollar mansion, maybe lying comfortably in his pool house, and he feels the same happiness, so-called happiness, which the pig feels in the gutter, or which the person who is covered with ignorance is feeling in the in a filthy place. So they are all binding. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajah karmani bharata jnanam avrityatu tamaha pramade sanjayati uta. The mode of goodness conditions ones to happiness, passion conditions to fruitive actions, and ignorance covering one's knowledge binds one to madness. So very, very important. And let's see some more pictures here. So we'll summarize this. The mode of goodness, these are like golden chains, golden handcuffs. Sometimes job is also compared to that, right? Right? Job, we said golden handcuffs. The manager will say so many things, do this, do that. Sometimes they will chastise, sometimes they will be harsh. But then after 2 weeks, the salary will come, and then the person, okay, yeah, they gave me salary, I have to pay my bills, just like tolerate. But this is how goodness could be. Purity, illumination, it's better than the others, certainly, but it is also binding. Rajas, constant rat race, running, running, running. Unlimited desires, hankering, bound to fruitive action, name, fame, prestige, I, me, mine, endless desires, ugra karma. That's passion. And finally, ignorance, darkness. Arey chodo, kya padi hai, right? Snooze, procrastination, laziness. Why worry? Life, we have a lot of time. We'll figure it out, right? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, shares the story of two lazy people. I don't recall the exact story, but what happened? They were, two brothers, they were very lazy. And there was a fire in the house. They were sleeping. You have heard? Anyone has heard the story? So there's a fire, and these guys are so lazy, they don't want to get up. Okay? One guy says, BB. They're so lazy they can't even say the full words. They're so lazy. It's like the meaning was back burning. But the other guy says, MO. Move over. No one wants to move. No one wants to get out of the bed, and right, and they both burnt in the fire. Hmm? That's lazy. Like, hmm. Procrastination. What's the need? And often we can see that these modes, although bhakti, Shuddha bhakti is beyond all the modes, but sometimes we may get these modes and it may impact our bhakti also. We may delay spiritual life, or we may become over passionate about spiritual life. Over passionate in the sense, let's give something. So not have a like a suddenly doing something quick and then stop, right? Like a rocket. Done, right? But what is Bhagavad Gita encouraging? Yuktahara viharasya. Utsaha nishchaya dharya. Have enthusiasm, have patience, and have determination. The steadiness that is going to help us. Or sometimes we may have too many desires, and we may having too many spiritual desires is good. But at the same time, it should be channelized by Guru Sadhu Shastra. Otherwise, it could be unhealthy if not channelized by Guru Sadhu Shastra. And like there are three primary colors: red, yellow, and blue. And out of those three colors, sometimes our red color may be prominent, sometimes blue, sometimes yellow. We all know, if we honestly introspect, we will see. So whenever we feel agitated, whenever we feel too happy, whenever we feel too sad, we should pause and see what mode am I in. The modes impact us so deeply that we may not even know how they are impacting. I'll share a story about the modes. One time, Yudhishthira Maharaj, other brothers, they were in the forest, and this Bhima got mad upon his elder brother Yudhishthira. So Bhima was on one side of the river, Yudhishthira was on the other side. Hmm? And Bhima, being on the other side of the river, is yelling, "Oh, foolish brother, it is only because of you we are suffering like this. You are so, you didn't take any action. These evil Duryodhana and team are did cheating, did all these nonsense, and you were just tolerating like a humble. It was not time to tolerate, it's time to take action." And Yudhishthira Maharaj said, "Okay, why don't you come, my brother? Well, let's talk peacefully. Let's have a seat, some water, and let's talk." "No, no, I'm telling you, you don't understand me, this, that, and yelling, and okay, you come. Okay." And then he comes. Hmm? He comes there, and then as soon as he comes, he begs forgiveness from his elder brother. And "I'm so sorry, I didn't realize I was yelling at you, and you are my elder, you are my worshipable. Please forgive me. I should have not said that." And he asked, "Brother, what happened? What just happened? It's just in a matter of few minutes." He said, this is the impact of modes. On the other side of the river, the people who were living are in the mode of passion and ignorance. So just by being in the surrounding of those people, you were impacted by passion and ignorance, and you were using the same words which they were using. But this village is a village of saints. And the other side of the river where Yudhishthir was. And naturally, when you came in that saintly ambience, your consciousness completely changed. And I'm sure all of us, we must have experienced this. If one goes to a passionate, lights, rock and roll, like how in malls and discos and all, one naturally will feel bewildered, and one naturally will do what others are doing. Meat eating, intoxication, gambling, etc. This is how it's the material energy, and even all these malls, these hotels, etc., are designed. The lighting, the music, everything is designed to make us, splurge, to increase our passion so we can spend more, or basically the whole culture of consumerism. It's very, scientifically designed to to use or to abuse our psychological propensities. This is how the modes act. One great, when one person was walking, mm, or maybe the other this story, it is said that we don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. We see things, we see the world as we are. If in our heart Satogun is prominent, we will see people with that qualities. We'll find like-minded people with those qualities. But if in our heart cheating, duplicity, ignorance, sense gratification is prominent, we will find like-minded folks who are interested in those things. So we must be careful in what we are looking. And it said, seek and you shall find. So there is a constant race. There's a constant race for prominence. And which one will win in this race? The one we feed more, right? Therefore, sadhu sanga, sarva shastra koi, lava matra sadhu sanga, sarva siddhi hoy. We must feed our higher modes. What does it mean to feed the higher modes? To feed the higher modes, sarvadvareshu dehismin prakasha upajayate jnanam yada tada vidyad vivriddham sattvam iti uta. The manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. So how do the modes enter? Or how? So here Krishna is mentioning when all the gates. So what are the gates being referred here? And how many are there?
9.
9 gates, right? The body is referred to as city of 9 gates. 2 eyes, 2 ears, nose, mouth, and 2 below the waist. So all are illuminated by knowledge. What kind of things we watch from our eyes? What kind of things we hear from our ear? The music is in different modes. Some people like classical, nice, peaceful music. Some people bang, 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 rock and roll, right? They like that passion. And some people completely in ignorance, kill him, fight, murder, this, right? That's ignorance. You like that? Of course, Shuddha Sattva is, of course, pure, holy name, Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan, etc. So in short, we must use the gates of the body very appropriately. Otherwise, we will be bound by the lower modes. So the one which is more prominent will win. Aligning our body, aligning our mind, aligning our senses, aligning the time of the day. The devotees get up early, sleep early, early to bed, early to rise. But these days, very rare we see people getting up early. People like, midnight, late night parties and all. Why? So the ignorance is prominent. या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागृति संयमी, right? या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागृति, जो सबके लिए रात है, What is night for all is day for a self-realized. And what is day for for others is the night time. Why? Because the self-realized soul works with proper understanding that this is night time. If I stay active on my phone in the night time, my mind will naturally go towards ignorance and passionate things. See? It's quite natural, right? So one has to align. Therefore, morning time is the best for sadhana, is the best for bhakti, because it is aligned with the mode. We are fresh, our body has like restarted, like a system refresh, and it's easy. All the thoughts of 100 million things, office, school, job, work, are not rolling in our monster mind. So now the different modes continue, and Krishna explains the destination also. Urdhvam gachanti sattva, right? This comes in the previous chapters, but here also same concept. When one dies in goodness, Urdhvam gachanti sattva, one goes to higher planets. Madhya, when one dies in passion, takes in the middle planets, fruitive activities, and in the ignorance, he gets in the lower species. And Krishna shares some more verses on the different actions in the different modes. From goodness, real knowledge. From passion develops greed. From ignorance, foolishness, madness, illusion. And this comes the Urdhvam Gachanti Sattvastha verse. So our destination, this is a very nice point I want to share from here. We covered this, the three modes influence person's character, behavior, and approach to life. So all the things, the food, the company, the music, the things, how we drive the car, how we talk to our kids, how we talk to our peers, how we do our work, the kind of color we pick for our paint, everything, whether we feel it, whether we realize it, we don't realize it, we are, a puppet of the three modes. But when we realize it, when we are conscious, then we can have a change. As Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj says, first be conscious, then become Krishna conscious. जो conscious ही नहीं है, उसको Krishna conscious कैसे होगा? What does mean being conscious? To become mindful. How am I talking? How am I walking? Right, Krishna? How are my words, actions impacting others? Devotee has to be exemplary, right? Devotee must be exemplary. So we must try to get to the higher modes, which bring joy, wisdom, kindness, happiness, not which cause laziness, indifference, to hell with the world, I don't care, right? This is an important one. So the three modes influence our decisions. The decisions we make, so all the activities we do are based on the decisions, and the activities lead to our reincarnation, right? All the activities which we do in the present body will lead to the next birth. And what kind of activities we do? Based on what kind of decision we make, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. We have a choice. Moment by moment, we have a choice. Life is like a line segment between B to D. Birth to death. Between the C. We have a choice. You all had a choice today to come to the Bhagavad Gita class or to watch Instagram, right? Or to watch some hip-hop movie. But you chose something, and that choice will impact your activities. because we are learning from Bhagavad Gita what is to be done and what is not to be done. That will determine our character, our behavior. As we say, watch your thoughts becomes actions. Watch your actions because actions become habit. Watch your habits because they become a character, and watch your character, it becomes destiny. But the hidden thing is the three modes. We don't see it. These are invisible chains. We feel we are free to choose something, but actually we're not free. We are governed by the three modes. We are not free. But finally now, Krishna also gives the understanding how to become free and how to come to the pure life, which is Bhakti Yoga. And the memory verse is the 26th verse, which is very, very important. Mam cho yo vyabicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitya brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the molds of material nature and thus becomes to the level of Brahman. One becomes to the level of Brahman. Brahma bhuta prasanna atma na shochati na kanchati. How will it happen? Bhakti yogena sevate. Not just so-called bhakti, avyabhicharena. Spotless, unfailing. Nityam bhagavata sevaya. That person will be free from the ropes, guna. Guna also means ropes which bind us, the modes which bind us. So, this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. This is the essence of Bhagavatam, to render अहेतुकी अप्रतिहता यात्मा सुप्रसिद्धति अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यम ज्ञान कर्मादि अनावृतम अनुकूलिन शीलनम कृष्णानुशीलनम उत्तमम. The topmost bhakti, avyabhicharena bhakti. Krishna is our real shelter. Krishna is our master. Krishna is our life and soul. This is pure bhakti. Not for desires, not for dharma, artha, kama, moksha, but for prema, love of God. Prema pamartho mahan. How can I serve you, my Lord? What can I do for you? Not you give me good job, good health, good this, good wife, good husband, good car, good pure devotional service. Then one will be able to transcend. Now, what does that mean? Okay, just chant Hare Krishna, and if we get angry, oh, I have a habit of getting angry, but I'm chanting Hare Krishna, right? We need to work. We need to work on parallelly on our different aspects, our character, our consciousness also. Yes, bhakti will help, but we need to make a conscious effort also to improve. Otherwise, nothing happens by default. So Arjuna also inquires, give me some qualities. Please tell me, what are some of the qualities of someone who is in the pure state? Pure, this. So Krishna explains in text 22 to 25. And Krishna explains this in multiple chapters actually. Chapter 12, chapter 13, 14, 18, chapter 2 also, Atma Rama. Many, chapter 6 also has some qualities. Who does not hate illumination, attachment, or delusion when they are present, or long for them when they disappear. So in short, equipoised, unwavering, equipoised again, undisturbed, equipoised from all these reactions of material qualities. Neutral. You see, equipoised. Equipoised is coming so many times in Bhagavad Gita, at least in 20 plus verses. To stay neutral and equipoised is no easy thing. Because we all go through ups and downs, health and disease, poverty or richness, Sometimes we may get name, fame, sometimes we get criticism. Sometimes we may be healthy, sometimes we may have bad health. So many ways. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's snow blizzards, and sometimes it's fires. But Bhagavad Gita is telling us to become tolerant, equipoised, neutral, transcend, situated in the self and regards alike. You see, again, equality, neutrality, happiness and distress, lump of stone and earth and gold with equal eye. Sama drishti. If someone throws stones at us, what will we say? We shout at them, "Oh, fool, are you crazy? Why are you hitting stones? What wrong have I done to you?" Right? But now imagine someone is throwing gold stones, real gold stones at us. Real gold, not plastic. Beat me more. I'm very sinful, right? I deserve more punishment. So we can get some gold, but not easy. Steady, situated equally in praise or blame. You see, this verse, the whole verse talks about equanimity or equipoised, treats both friend and enemy alike. Such a person is said to have transcended. So Arjuna asks, who is that person who is transcended? So Krishna is saying, these are the qualities. In short, one who is engaged in pure bhakti should strive to develop these qualities, and that person will transcend. Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritavyasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya ekantikasya cha. And I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. So Krishna is the source of everything. He is not covered by the modes. Rather, he is the controller. Maya Adhyakshina Prakriti, Krishna says that all the modes are running under my direction. And one who takes shelters of me, Mami Viprapadinte Maya Metam. So Krishna will, this Maya is running this. She's the, what do you say, Katputli, what's the English word? Puppeteer, yes, puppeteer. We are like the puppet. She's a puppeteer. But if we take shelter of Krishna, then Krishna says, okay, now I will become his chariot driver, like how Arjuna did. Now Maya Devi does not become the puppeteer. Now Krishna is orchestrating. Even if some challenging circumstances came in the life of Arjuna, Dhruva, Prahlad, etc., Krishna is their puppeteer. Krishna is their chariot driver. So Krishna does take test in the life of devotee, but those are personally orchestrated by him. And we are almost at time. One story which I will share and then just pause. There was a sadhu who was very attached to goodness. Very, very much attached to goodness. Very nice person. Everything was good. He was doing this Gayatri Pakka at times, right? He was very punctual. 6 a.m. means 6 a.m. 12 noon means 12 noon. 6 p.m. means 6 p.m. He would never delay, everything Pakka. And he became proud of his punctuality. Like Sudama became proud of his poverty. So we may become prisoner of any of the things. We may become prisoner of our position, prisoner of our, I chant Bharadams. Prisoner of success we can become. Prisoner is not just in the jail. We can become prisoner of anything. So this person became prisoner of his punctuality. And one time, he was sleeping. He took an afternoon nap. It was around, and Maya Devi came and knocked on the door. Hey, Sadhu, Mahatma, oh great soul, get up. it's time for your Gayatri. And he said, well, why? Your job is to pull the jiva away, right? Right? Why are you waking me up to do Gayatri, which is meant for spiritual elevation? And Mahadevi replied, because if you would have missed Gayatri at that particular time, then you would lose your punctuality track record and you would become a little humble. You'll repent. Alas, oh my no, I was so proud of my punctuality, and today, look at me, I'm so fallen. I slept over and didn't realize it's time to do the Gayatri. I'm so fallen. You would become humble. So I woke you up so that you stay proud. And that has become an obstacle in your bhakti. So you have to be careful. This person was a prisoner of the goodness. So Satagun is also binding. The long story short, this chapter, TRAP, the three modes. We must be conscious how these modes are acting. Which mode am I working? Which mode is prominent? Which mode other persons are working, right? And choose our association carefully, choose our food carefully, choose our habits carefully. Everything is divided into the different modes. And there's always race. R for race, there's a race for prominence. The modes, someone, this mode is prominent, sometime of the day this mode is prominent. So we have to see. And the different activities and actions in the different modes, which finally govern our choices, govern our decisions, govern our habits, govern our next life. We keep taking birth until we get to the pure life, P for pure life. Three modes, race for prominence, activities in three modes until we get to the P of pure bhakti or pure life, which is Mam Chaiva Vicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate. So if we do that, Krishna assures, he'll come to me, there is no doubt. So this is chapter 14 of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you so much for patiently hearing. Sorry if there was a lot of philosophy here. But any comments, thoughts, questions, please feel free to share. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for wonderfully describing pictorially, showing us how the three modes affect us and how we can overcome by Krishna consciousness. Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Today I am very, very happy because here in our country, Bharat, Ekadasi, I learned your golden words, which I cannot describe in words. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Happy Ekadashi.
हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम सभी के चरणों में। हरे कृष्णा।
Anyone has a question or a thought? Any other thoughts, comments, reflections? Okay. So, last closing words. Develop sattva, regulate rajas, avoid tamas. I'm saying this for myself, and work on Shuddha Sattva, that is pure bhakti. If we do so, we will gradually, step by step, get to the highest destination and go to the back home, back to Godhead. This is Gita's message. Very practical, and it can be applied in every aspect of our life. Hari Bol.
Say Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Chukku.
Hari Bol. Let's all say 3 times loudly Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji and
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji, then nicely explained. Thank you so much.
Krishna, Bhagavad Gita Upanishad ki jai, Shri
Jai.
Prabhupada
Jai.
ki jai, Samveda Gaur.
Shubhalas Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.